Hello viewer. Well, I took off 3 of the roof panels, corrugated iron panels, which are above the boiler room, which will be the bathroom, a while ago. Time to take off another 3 there and the 4 that are here up to this joist, rafter. The purlin which is against the wall there looks like it is nailed through to the wall plate, so that can stay. I'll just jack off the corrugated iron sheets, pull them off, get rid of them. But this purlin here, that's probably going to have to stay for the meantime. So I can't knock down that block wall yet, because the reason it has to stay is that this purlin has an angled joint to it right on top of this rafter here. So if I take that away, this purlin will just fall down. Not ideal. So I'm going to get up and do those bits first. Let's see what happens. Oh, for goodness sake. Now it might seem like a strange idea, but I'm going to use these corrugated iron sheets so that when I remove the tiles which are on the back roof prior to replacing them with slates and a Velux or a key light window, I need to put those tiles somewhere. And if it's just going to be me on my own, it's going to be a lot of lugging around and better to throw them. What I plan to do is to use these corrugated iron sheets. I'll put one up this way and then another one going that way, so that when I'm up there on the roof, I can put a tile on the first sheet and it'll slide down and then slide onto the second set of sheets two sheets which go in that direction and create a pile round about where you're standing now. And that way I should end up with a pile of broken tiles, which I'm going to use as hardcore underneath the concrete floor. And hopefully that'll get rid of those tiles easily and efficiently. That's the plan anyway. We'll see if that works. I wasn't sure it was going to do that, but I thought it might. time to free that last panel. That'll do. Now, when I get rid of these corrugated iron panels and make my chute to there, after I've got rid of the corrugated iron panels and taken all the tiles off and replaced that with slate and all that, then we can get rid of this concrete slab roof, which, as I mentioned before, when I'm in the boiler room, which will be the bathroom, at the moment there isn't even a finger clearance between the roof and me. So that's not going to work. So the roof has to go, concrete slab has to go, chimney has to go, that wall there has to go, and then I'll build up this wall to similar to that diagonal there, but slightly lower, and that will be a slate roof at that height, more or less, right the way across the vestibule as well. So we have bathroom, toilet, vestibule area, all that. So far, so good. I'm going to go and put this lot away. Think of something else to do. It's not as if there is spoilt for choice. What do you think? I'm all right with that. So although it's open to the elements, this final rafter is almost underneath that final panel. So depending on the area, the angle of the rain, it might stay dry. I mean, it's probably chestnut or oak, so it probably won't rot in the next 10 minutes. And I'll keep these panels here to make my chute. So we're getting closer to doing the roof, which will probably be a 2 to 3 week job in the summer. We'll see. In order to do the roof, I had to get the barn door moving so that I can take deliveries of joists, battens, slates, all that sort of stuff. So I need to take delivery of that and put it in the barn, because that's the biggest area, until I need to use it. So I've moved the barn door. Come and have a look. So this is where the septic tank's going to go. Probably September, who knows, maybe. So as you can see, there's some rollers up at the top there. I thought I was going to have to take them off and replace them, but a bit of WD-40, product placement, that did the job, and it slides now. I did have to dig a bit of a trench though, because it obviously hasn't been opened in decades, so all of the soil had basically filled up against the side of the barn building, and so I had to dig out a trench. If I dig out that trench a bit further, then I'll be able to open the door a bit further, but that's enough space to make a delivery. And inside looks much the same as the last time we were in here. Actually, I must take that barrel out and push it around to the columbage barn and shove it in there for safekeeping, if we're going to keep it. Maybe it'd just be easier to sell it, I don't know. That beam's not long enough, sadly, to use in the new end, but I need to get a replacement beam for that bugger up there. You can see that it's packed with stone and stuff on top of the beam. That's because it's a thinner beam than these other two beams. So that one and this one, they're about nearly 30 centimeters in thickness, whereas that one over there, that's about 20, maybe not even that at that end, the right end. So I think that probably needs to be replaced. You can see that it's resting on a pillar here and a pillar over here. And up at this end, when I was hacking off all of the plaster and stuff, it looks pretty woodwormy. So I think that has to go and be replaced, probably with a steel, maybe with a beam. Anyway, we'll see. Well, that's it for the moment. On for another job soon. Bye for now.